Welcome to Gidalyfe Astrology with your girl TMZ. 11:02. Tuesday. Take two, because I did this whole episode late yesterday. It was actually Sunday into Monday night. I'm sorry. Sunday into Monday. What was yesterday? Yesterday? No, it was last night. It's been a long day. Not only that, Mercury's in its shadow. I assume it's going to be an intense one, but not so intense as far as everybody being, you can see the shadow because I had laid my edges this time. I was looking a mess when I did the first take. I want to make this one shorter, so let me get to business. All right, so we're in Virgo season. We are in the 15th, 16th degree, which is like right in the middle of Virgo season. Second decan, the Capricorn decan. No, the Virgo decan. Because Virgo is the second earth sign. So in the Virgo decan, the second decan, the middle decan, we want to activate our Virgo mode. The reason I'm so late with this is because I've been activating my Virgo mode. I've been the perfectionist, the specialist, the back to basics, the hands-on service, the homeschooling mom, the astrologer, the house cleaner, nurse, chef. Even though shout out to my oldest daughter, Milan, who's definitely helping me with the food and cooking and shopping. Problem solver, becoming a health nut, detailed and focused is Virgo mode. We're also a little bit in Libra mode as well. Mainly, I don't want to distract myself and take up too much time pulling off the pieces until I get my new pieces for today. So I'll just put a few things up here. I was trying to cut time with not having to put up a whole bunch of stuff either. So I'm going to use the basic, what do you want to call them? Nooks and crannies, nuts and bolts. Not ball and chain. What am I looking for, y'all? Bells and whistles. That's what it is. Off the top of the dome. Sometimes it takes me a while to get it, but I get it. All right, so just want to talk about Virgo season the last few years. The last few years, because Virgo season is when you get focused, it's back to school. It has a lot to do with how we organize and close out the summer and get ready for the fall. Get ready for harvest time. Get ready for school, switching up jobs. Basically, when I'm thinking about me personally, because all I can really share with you all is my experiences, and you can let me know in the comment section or just share it with me as most of you do, with if anything resonates. But the last 3 Virgo seasons, so we're in Virgo season 2021, the last 2020 Virgo season for me and for the collective, we had, before Virgo season, not Virgo, Mars went into Aries, okay, and then Mars, which is now in Virgo, which is why I'm bringing it up. Mars is, and Mercury just left Virgo. So did Venus. All the inner planets that have to do with our individual selves just left Virgo, and a lot of them are in Libra. One is about to enter Scorpio, which is exciting because that's another one of my returns this year. I already had my Mars return. So talking about Mars in Virgo, last time Mars was in Virgo, Mars was in retrograde last year for 2020. And last year, because Mars has a lot to do with fire and action taking and sometimes impulsive, intense, it represents Aries and Scorpio. It rules Aries and Scorpio. So it was just an intense Virgo season last year because Mars was in Virgo in retrograde. And it actually happened on the 7th, which is today. September 2020, the 7th of September 2020. Long story short, last Virgo season, I was working for the U.S. Census. I was working for the federal government, finding all those things out. This year, I'm working for myself and trying to at least get some part-time, possibly full-time, until I can tend back to my own business. But I'm trying to become a businesswoman this year because Virgo represents service to yourself and others, the work you do, your routines, like I said, and especially your health. Last September, I can say that I had a terrible health kick, and I'm trying to pick it back up this Virgo season. The September before that, I was working for Amazon. It was way too hot for my health in Las Vegas. I was in there, and I moved back to the DC area. Moved back to DC in October, the end of October 2019. But I was in Amazon for 1 week in the warehouse, the return center, and shout out to North Vegas. But the return center, too hot, too much authority with people that really didn't need authority. It was not me. My Mars in Leo and 29 degrees was like, no, this ain't for me. You cannot put that whip and chain on me. That's how I felt. The year before that, in Virgo season, was me working for Goodwill in LA. And I was sharing this with my youngest. We were talking about astrology. We actually had astrology class in homeschool today. I said, my work is my business now. It was the census in last Virgo season. We were talking about Virgo season. And we were talking about her Virgo seasons. She said, and I shared with her so we could think about it. This year she's homeschooling. Last year it was distance learning in Virgo season for her. The year before that, we were in Vegas in schools, switching up schools, trying to find the best schools. And Vegas has like some of the worst schools in the country. Sorry, Vegas. And it's not a good place to raise your kids, but we want to get it that way. I'm actually looking at property a few minutes outside of Vegas to kind of get things popping in certain areas so that we can spread out on this land. Anyway, and the September before that, the Virgo season before that, we were in Glendale, California, where we actually found a place to have a home. We had our own place in Glendale, and that was like a wonderful school for Zane. The September before that, we were in Inglewood. So it was, I just showed her how each year there's something switching with her work, which is school, and my work, which is many different things. I used to switch up schools when I was a teacher for 17 years. Many times I've been at least 10 different schools. The longest one I stayed at was West. It just changed its name. 8 minutes in. All right, let's go. Mars and Mercury, like they kind of are now, except Mercury just moved into Libra. But a couple of weeks ago, if you remember, Mars and Mercury were conjunct. They were also conjunct in 2019 of the Virgo season in 2019. So just wanted to point that out. So if you can think back on your own Virgo seasons and leave me something in the comments, that would be great. Leave more comments, please. It helps the algorithm and all that other junk that YouTubers say. I guess I am one. All right, Monday on the 6th, which was yesterday now, 11/11, Ashe. It is a new day. This is take 2. We're going to get it better. I'm going to keep this a little bit smoother and faster. Monday, yesterday was a new moon. It was in 15 degrees. Where do you have 15 degrees on your chart as far as either Virgo or just where do you have 15 degrees in your chart? Mine is in Sagittarius, which is another mutable sign. It is in Neptune. So we're looking at, with the 15th degree, with this new moon in Virgo, where do you need to see if you need to switch up things with have some new things with the way you work, the way your health, your service, your impact on yourself and others. Mutable change. Virgo is one of the mutable signs. So Virgo is the season where we switch, like I said, from summer to fall, which means there's always some kind of change going from mutable signs into the cardinal signs, which is the start of something, the start of new as well. So the new moon in Libra will be the start of something new as well. But this new moon in Virgo has a lot to do with specific things going on with everybody right now, job specific, school specific, if you know what I mean. And you're thinking of homeschooling out there, check out a few of my videos I've been throwing on my page now with homeschooling ideas and just seeing what homeschooling is like. Me and Zane are going to work on throwing that out here and there for you, because TMZ is teaching everyone abundantly. So I've got a bunch of things I want to drop for y'all. Anyway, and empowering many is the key, enlightening every day. The other thing is there's this Libra energy that's, like I said, starting and working things out, giving balance. So Mercury and Venus are currently in Libra until in a couple of days Venus will move into Scorpio. We'll have to talk about that too and have a separate episode. But on Monday yesterday, this is being open to change and making life easier with this new moon, especially with your health, being open to change with your health and new recipes. We went to the thrift store yesterday and got all these books for homeschooling, and we got an air fryer to cook more healthier things and cook different things. So that's just an idea. Mercury entered its shadow yesterday. I need some water, excuse me. And that is a big deal, which is why I'm definitely going to get all these electronics and things set up a little bit different as we move through Mercury retrograde, especially that it's just in the shadow. It's time to get things, to check things out before Mercury hits retrograde in a couple of weeks, around the third week of September. I don't know the exact date because it's 20-something. And then Venus trine Jupiter, which is awesome because Venus is the planet of beauty, love, relationships, and finances. And Jupiter expands all those things that Venus is trining with. Quick energy. Remember trine is between elements. So this is Venus in Libra and Jupiter in Aquarius, air sign energy. A lot to do with our communication, the way we are stepping into this Libra energy with balance and fairness. Tuesday, which is today, about to be tomorrow, the moon is conjunct Mars, which can be a little bit tough because the moon is still in Virgo for a few more hours, and conjunct Mars means we're taking some kind of OCD action with Virgo, with the moon in Virgo and Mars in Virgo. So use this energy to organize, clear your space up. I definitely am moving snow. This is why I'm doing part 2, because I'm coming back around with this conjunction, blending these energies in a more fair and relatable way with the Libra energy, okay? Do what you feel you need to do, which is what I did. I made part 2 or take 2, but don't beat yourself up about it. So I'm not beating myself up about how late this is. I will definitely get on point more and more. It is 11/15. That is my birthday. Can't wait to talk about Scorpio season. I'm feeling all this Scorpio energy, but let's keep talking about Libra and Virgo energy real quick. The moon moves into Libra in a few hours later this morning into Wednesday. When the moon moves into Libra, this is again about relating more to others. The moon, when it moves into Scorpio, will be a little more tough to relate to others and trust each other. But the good Scorpio energy is that we are becoming more investigative on some things that just might need a little bit more clarity. We'll touch it later. We're coming up on it. All right. Wednesday, the moon in Libra trine Saturn in Aquarius. The next day it will trine Jupiter because they both are in Aquarius, but Saturn is at 7 degrees, Jupiter is at 25 degrees. So Saturn is still retrograding back into the first decan. I don't think it will move into, it definitely won't move into Capricorn again, but it'll get down there. And then everything, the good thing about retrograde season is that we go back through all this energy again. So all this new moon energy that we're going through that might be tough for us to organize, and we don't want to put too much stress on ourselves to get things together because it's going to all come back in a little bit with Mercury retrograde, all the outer planets going through retrograde, Pluto, Neptune, Uranus, Saturn, and Jupiter. All the inner planets are direct until Venus goes retrograde at the end of this year in December. Anyway, with the moon in Libra, where can we agree? Where can we be more realistic with Saturn? Where can we, for example, drop some of our attitudes with each other and just get on the same page about something. One thing is, I'm embracing this Scorpio energy. I got into another argument with our astrologer, Miss Karen Boone, who is a Leo, and Leos are dramatic. And I'm just going to tell it like it is, Miss Karen Boone. I definitely respected your work, but if I don't agree with everything, that's okay. If I have my own perspective, and then I become a little bit more debating. Leos and Scorpios, fixed signs. Somebody got to be right. I delete my comments so it doesn't look like two copper-colored women, and both in the same field of astrology are trying to degrade or beat each other up any kind of way. So I deleted my comments, went into her inbox and apologized, and she blocked me. So anyway, child, I'm not going to use my negative Scorpio energy to be vengeful, but I will watch you work and you watch me work, and that is it. You know, if any of you Scorpios out there know what I'm thinking in the back of my mind, leave it in my comments. All right, or anybody. Moon conjunct Mercury on Wednesday as well, which is, you know, Mercury being the planet of communication. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about how we can relate with the moon in Libra. Then the moon will conjunct Venus in Libra right at the end, because Venus is getting ready to transfer into Scorpio. Same day the moon transfers into Scorpio. But before it does that, the moon conjuncting Mercury is, again, what is ideal and what is realistic. So when we can talk and have more relatable conversations, what can we say is more ideal for the situation or the new energy we're going into with this new moon, even though it's in Libra? It's good to even write your manifestations. You always write your intentions in a journal during the new moon. So it's good to do it even with this Libra moon, and it not be the Virgo new moon anymore, but it's like 3 days after. Still the energy is there. You want to use the Libra moon to talk about how to be relatable with friends and in your relationships and in your businesses or your workplaces, in your schools, classrooms, you know, just how to relate to everybody that's going through everybody's going through change right now. Everybody's going through something. Don't think the next person is going through something worse than you, because everybody's going through something. All right, we are all under this energy that Mercury, Venus, and Mars is given. With the help of the outer planets, the inner planets are really reacting with the outer planets a lot to get all this mutable, all this change going on. Okay, so Thursday, the moon will trine Jupiter. Oh, 10 minutes in and I got Thursday. Doing it. The moon will trine Jupiter, and this is when you are feeling understood, because you're being more relatable with the moon in Libra. You're being seen and heard with the expansion of your feelings being heard, or whatever you are expressing. And then the moon will conjunct Venus. So this conjunction with the blended energies of the moon in Libra, being relatable again with Venus in Libra still, being this is her home planet, so Venus is wanting this conversation, wanting to know, who is wanting to relate, who is wanting to be on, you know, on a team of sorts, or on a soul group of sorts, who wants to make these connections, who values the same things you do with the Libra Venus energy, the Venus and Libra energy. And bonding with a few people. Cam White, who is the astrologer that I follow for the weekly forecast, as well as Molly McCord, he always knows what to say, kind of that rebellious energy that I have. What is the point in having 1,000 followers on any of these social media platforms when you really just want to relate to a few? the energy we give each other sometimes is wasted and downing. And it could just be a lot more lighter with the moon in Libra in an air sign and the planet Venus in an air sign that it rules, that it's comfortable in. It's more comfortable. Life is more easier if you relate to who you relate to and leave the others to relate to who they relate to. The following thing, that's getting dead. And the Venus, when Venus moves in a Scorpio, it'll show you. All right, then are we understanding each other now with this relatable energy from Libra? Because if we're not, there's going to be a shock of events coming from Friday on. Okay, not to scare you, this is just challenging energy. This is energy that we can all learn from, grow stronger from, because when Venus moves into Scorpio, Scorpio is ruled by Mars. When Mars moves into Libra, which is coming soon, because Venus moves into Scorpio on Friday, which is the 10th, and Saturday is the 11th. We got to talk about September the 11th. But when Mars moves into Libra, Mars and Venus are lovers. Mars and Venus are the masculine and feminine energy, and Mars will be in Venus's home sign, and Venus will be in Mars's home sign in Scorpio. Mars also rules Aries, but Scorpio is its second sign that it rules. And Venus rules Libra, its other sign. The first sign it rules is Taurus. So the lovers are switching signs. They're learning more about how to have each other's energy. Venus is learning how to pull from that strength of the masculine energy that Mars has with Scorpio. Even though Scorpio is a feminine sign, it's pulling from the masculine energy that Scorpio receives from Mars with Venus and Scorpio. That's the higher energy of Venus and Scorpio. Venus and Scorpio has a lot of low energy now, but it's at its detriment. And we'll have to talk more about that when we do this separate session on Venus and Scorpio. But it's in its detriment, which means it goes through a lot. And so the collective, us individually with Venus and Scorpio, will go through a lot. That happens on Friday, as well as the moon moves in Scorpio on Friday, and it's fall. So we have one in the detriment, one in the fall. Scorpio energy, which is intense, which can be panicky with the moon in Scorpio. Remember, the last couple of moon and Scorpios ago, I had to panic and call the police on my child again, my oldest daughter. And we always got to watch this intensity, and I tell her, I always warn her when the moon is in Aries and Scorpio, or even in another water sign, Pisces and Cancer. The moon energy can be heavy. The moon will square up. The moon just moved into Libra as I was talking. It just moved into Libra. Yes, it still says new moon. So take that new moon energy. It's only at 1.6. When it gets to about 3 when it gets to be about 3%, which will be later tomorrow night, that is when it kind of dies off. All right. The moon will square Saturn in Scorpio. Saturn in Aquarius is fixed sign energy again. The opposite of Aquarius is Leo. I just told you how I fell out with the Leo. So this is like fear-based anger, disgust. Do not base your emotions off of these moon energies, because you know they switch up every couple of days. So as we go through these 2 days of the moon in Scorpio, take it with a grain of salt. Stay cool. Remember, the moon changes into Sagittarius by the end of the weekend. Don't get in a bitchy mood. Don't be the one, and I am the one. So I'm speaking from experience. Don't be the one that's the bitchy person and ruining the situation with my Cancer moon, because my Cancer moon can be way too serious sometimes. But don't be the one, and in the alpha woman energy I have too. Don't be the one that's just like, relating the message, taking things wrong, not trusting so much. If you don't trust it, move into some other energy that's more positive. That's all the energy I can give, because it's tough for me too. And then Venus will move into Scorpio again, and this is intense information. This is energy. This is transformation energy. She's again in Mars's energy, so this is impulsive, but this can also be brave. This can be a lot of strength. This can be a lot of this. With the good thing with finances is if you have Venus, and a lot of people's, not a lot, but a few birth charts that I've been doing recently, including Miss Summer's birth chart, we have this Scorpio and Venus. Scorpio and Venus being the planet of relationships and relating to others and love and beauty and finances. People with Venus and Scorpio can be very horny during this thing. We don't want to talk too much on it, but I'll do the separate thing with it. But it's going to be a good time for those with this. It could be a good time with those with this placement. Those with Venus in Virgo and Venus in Capricorn relate well with people with Venus in Scorpio. Just to let you in on a little bit. And when we do that episode, it is going to be not safe for work or children or anybody with a sick stomach. What is it? A weak stomach. Saturday, we done talked about the moon in Scorpio, okay, and the moon squaring Saturn and the moon in Venus going into Scorpio. So Saturday, the moon will trine Neptune, which is the water signs energy trine. This could go good or bad too, because with the water signs, you want to watch your feelings always. You want to watch what you believe, what you see with Neptune in retrograde. This is the type of energy where you don't want to check your text with the intense energy from Scorpio, your ex's text or your boyfriend's text, and then pass judgment or jump to conclusions, okay? And don't make up stories in your head of all things, because Scorpios, again, are intense and investigative, and Pisces are sometimes way too deep into like a dreamy state. Neptune and Pisces, the moon is Scorpio. Then the moon will square Jupiter. The moon in Scorpio will square Jupiter in Aquarius too, because we just squared Saturn on Friday. So with this energy, you want to not believe, you want to stay positive with Jupiter, okay? But in Aquarius, this is a fixed sign. You want to first remember these are temporary emotions, especially because this is the end of the moon. This is Saturday night. This is the moon getting ready to switch into Sagittarius too. Before saying that, and Jupiter rules Sagittarius. So before saying that, these are like tough times to believe and trust, but you can still, with Aquarius, you're cutting certain groups of people out and the feelings you have towards that, and moving into newer cell groups, newer uniqueness about yourself, so you can reach who you want to reach. But this is also like FU energy. But you want to watch your emotions once again with that moon in Scorpio. You want to watch what you're so angry about with Jupiter and Aquarius, because Jupiter and Aquarius is still trying to be positive in some kind of ways. It is positive. And Jupiter and Aquarius, however, in retrograde, is just reminding us of the groups of people and the humanitarianism that we show ourselves as well as others. Are we being real with the groups of people that we're dealing with, or do we need to find a group that we can be real with or that's on the same page as us? Anyway, Sunday, the moon will move into Sagittarius. A lot of those energies will rest from the weekend. And the moon will conjunct the South Node, which is a little tough too. If y'all remember, the South Node and the North Node, always in retrogrades, which means we're always learning our lessons. The South Node is where we come from. It is in 5 degrees. The South Node switches to Scorpio in January, and the North Node switches to Taurus. We're still going to work on that episode and get that out too. But with the moon in Sagittarius, the only tough thing about conjuncting with the South Node is how much have your beliefs changed. Remember I said think of all the Virgo seasons back. So think of since last June when the nodes went into Sagittarius and Gemini. what beliefs have changed since then for you, and which beliefs don't serve you anymore. Perfect example, I was talking to my cousin Marcy about my mother and how she is trying to have a church show, and the usual one for years and years now. My son will be 15 next month, and she wants my son, because his voice is changing, of course. He can't play the certain part that has a higher pitched young boy voice, and my son is now have that man voice at almost 15. So she wants my daughter to do it, and I'm like, no, this is a part for a boy. You know, while some people are comfortable with the changes of playing others, I'm not comfortable, and I don't want my children to get comfortable to being anybody but herself. Okay, that's number one. Number two, the church can pull from other children, because my children have been in this show for almost a decade now, including their cousins who are in their mid to late 20s, and they want to do other things too. Those beliefs I'm getting around to with the Sagittarius energy. Sagittarius rules Jupiter rules Sagittarius. Jupiter is about, and Sagittarius is about philosophy, old beliefs, religion, higher learning, and all those things, the higher mind and all that. But how have those things changed in the last almost 18 months when a node switches? How have those things changed since we were in the 29th degree, the first degree of the South Node going backwards? That was like when last June we were in the beginning of summer, hoping that the pools would open back up, believing that they would let us go back to church and stuff like that, and none of it really happened, not until 2021. So, how have your beliefs changed in the truth world? I know that I didn't know what I know now that I knew last year, which is a lot more. So, the moon will also trine Saturn. Sextile Saturn. So the moon in Sagittarius will sextile. The fire and air signs will sextile. That can be another reality check, but in a good way, in a positive way, because of the moon being in Sagittarius. But it can also be, because Saturn is in retrograde, it can also be just reality checks with the structures that you put around yourself, the old beliefs with the moon in Sagittarius. What do you believe still that Saturn has control of you, that you still serves purpose with you? And how does it make you feel? Then we have next week, the Sun will oppose Neptune, Virgo, and Pisces. The Sun in Virgo, Neptune in Pisces. The Sun in Virgo is order, and Neptune in Pisces is chaos. That Virgo and Pisces axis. That can be tough. Mars will move into Libra. That is going to be not all bad. It's going to be a learning experience for the masculine energy. It's going to be a learning experience, a relatable experience. So I'm looking forward to it. Venus, like we said, Venus is in Mars's home, and Mars is in Venus's home as of next week. Venus will square Saturn, which is going to be tough too. More reality checks with the things we want, things we desire. More reality checks with our relationship. More reality checks with our beauty. I know that I'm tired, y'all, of keeping up with myself on these videos. So just, I love to say gone to November, just taking a break, getting ready for Scorpio season. It is about to be my 44th birthday. That is a double number. That is 8. That is an infinity. The infinity sign, the ever-going, everlasting life. I'm teaching everyone abundantly. Empowerment is the key. Enlightening every day. I appreciate your time. Hopefully I got everything out that I need to be. Oh, no, I didn't. 9/11. Why did I write 6/11? 9/11 on Saturday. 9/11 in the truth of the world is starting to come out information about the 9/11 being a hoax. We're in the 20th anniversary this year. Stay tuned, because I definitely want to bring out the Venus and Scorpio episode by then. especially because Venus will be in Scorpio for a day by then. And we're going to just tap into the investigative spirit of Venus and Scorpio and wanting to know the truth, wanting to know how to relate in depth with others. Not wanting to be vindictive, but wanting to get people just to be more realistic. Wake up, you know? The things we believe, Venus and Scorpio will show us what we want to know, the truth. I can't wait to talk about it, y'all. So see y'all soon. Peace.